A little while, and you will no longer see me, and again a little while later, and you will see me. So some of the disciples said to one another, "What is this little while of which he speaks?" That's part of today's readings. This gospel reminds me of my father. If he got home from work and settled with his newspaper, he might ask my mother when dinner would be ready. My mother would often reply with deliberate vagueness, "Oh, in a little while." He would lower his paper and look over his glasses and say in a solemn voice, "What is this little while of which you speak?" It was a joke I didn't understand as a child, but one that makes me smile now. I think about my dad these days, and I think this gospel says much more to me now since my father's death. Jesus tells his disciples and us, "In a little while you will not see me, and again in a little while you will see me." They ask each other, what could he possibly mean? Yes, he's preparing his disciples for his departure. But more than that, he's preparing us for the times we will have a difficult time seeing him. When we are faced with pain, conflict, and great loss, sometimes we can be blind to his presence in our lives. But today, Jesus tells us that we will see him again. How can that be if he's going to the Father? He's telling us that we will see him again because we will at one time join him there at the side of the Father. Jesus also tells us, "You will weep and mourn while the world rejoices. You will grieve, but your grief will become joy." These words can be both discouraging and puzzling. He speaks them at the Last Supper as he's preparing his disciples for his departure. They will no longer walk the dusty roads with him, sit down to dinner with him, feel his comforting hand rest on their shoulder, or gaze into his loving and challenging eyes. In the meantime, the world will be rejoicing. We shouldn't be discouraged or scandalized by that. No matter how much we grieve, our grief will be transformed into joy brought on by our faith that we will see Jesus again with the Father. This is the heart of the good news Jesus speaks today. We can live in this world free from fear, free from anxiety, knowing that Jesus is present to us in this life and that we will join him at the Father's side in the life after. I take these words to heart, and my faith tells me that my Father is now happy in the warm embrace of Jesus, and that I will see Jesus and my Father and my mother and all those that I love dearly again one day. Praise God.